Welcome in, Renegades. Now, tonight we have a special video, and I do want to welcome Victor from ICP Loteria. He is a good friend of mine. We're going to talk about that. But this is terrifying crypto news for the Internet Computer or the Internet Computer, either one. So if you don't own a Loteria, what are you doing? This is the biggest NFT besides Motoko on the Internet Computer right now. My boy has done an amazing job with this project. I'm a little bit jealous from our ICP Renegades project. But this, yeah, it's terrifying if you don't own one because you will fear the FOMO later. I have one Loteria. I think I got it right around mint, and now it is worth a lot. So basically, today we're going to have Victor on to talk about that. But I want to talk about some terrifying news elsewhere as well. So if you don't own Internet Computer and you're looking at these other cryptos, now I'm an analyst. I just found out that Google has Bitcoin Renegade listed as Jeffrey Anderson as a technical and fundamental analyst of crypto. And so basically, I'm pretty good at judging cryptos, and it is absolutely ridiculous if you think, something like Sui, who is going to, rug people and get hacked and all that stuff is going to succeed. And these cryptos like Solana, you think you're going to gain a 20, 30x off of that. It's not going to happen. So guys, it's really time to buckle down and look at the great cryptos. Now, Internet Computer has a very small ecosystem, but it has the most room for growth out of any large cap crypto. So what I want you to understand is the Internet Computer is a place where you can build NFT projects, that everything is stored on chain and not just on Amazon Web Services. What happens if that goes down? Like 3/4, 90% of the blockchains are going to go down with that. So guys, get ready for this bull run because ICP is the one to watch in this bull run. So guys, I do also want to talk about the little bit of move we're going to have soon. So in June, historically, this is the month where we see alt seasons. So we are going to see a massive alt season, and with that will come a big NFT influx. That thing is like a bubble, and it's like meme coins with NFTs, and then you have your alt seasons, right? So we're in the midst of that, and we are getting ready to see the biggest bull market in history. So I'm just waiting for Victor to come over here. Okay, so right now I'm watching about 3 major cryptos, but the biggest one is ICP. We just had the launch of Caffeine AI, which is the advancement. So let me talk about this. Now, I made a post talking about what Forbes said about bottlenecks, about, hidden risks, and about a lot of different situations that can appear with AI. So what I want to talk about with Caffeine AI on that is that basically that will write self-writing dApps, but bringing the AI on chain, that's where it's at, because it gets rid of those bottlenecks. It gets rid of the hidden risks. It gets rid of the agenda of the multinational corporations that own AI. So the biggest thing that we're going to see is efficacy. So the traditional problem with Web 2 AI is the infrastructure that it's built on cannot handle the load. So that's why you should build projects like Loteria and ICP Renegades on the Internet Computer. So here's Victor. Welcome in, my friend. It's been a long time.
How are you doing, Renegade? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How have you been,
I can't hear you though. So give me 5 seconds because I added a bunch of new devices, including these 2 CRTs. So, all right. Can you say something again?
Can you hear me?
Oh, still no audio. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like I'm on one of those old Sprint phones.
Still no audio.
No audio. I can't hear you now at all.
Hear you.
Now I can hear you, but
Can you? Okay. Let me see.
Hello, hello. My mic is working. I don't know what the deal is. It's your headphones. All right. While he gets that ready, let me just introduce my
All
guest
right,
here.
I can hear you now.
Okay.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. So welcome in, Victor. It's always good to see you. I'm actually doing my video outside. I just got off of work. But the time I was gone out of ICP, I was just telling my audience right now that I'm impressed. I've seen what you've done with ICP Loteria and what you've done building that community, being a part of Gold DAO as their social media manager. So I just want to give you some props real quick. I want to say your project is amazing. We need that on ICP. Especially a leader like you who has, led the forefront. You were here before me. So welcome in, Victor. Introduce yourself and tell us about your project a little bit, because it is going to be terrifying if you don't own a Loteria in about 6 months. They're going to be like 100 ICP each, which they're almost at now, actually.
What up? What up? All right. Thank you for having me, man. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Before I talk about myself, let me retweet your video. And I think actually I just did, and let me see it so I can kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, that's wonderful, man. Welcome everybody who's watching. Pleasure to be here with a Bitcoin Renegade. My name is Victor ICP, as you can see below right here. And I guess the best way to describe myself, I'm an ICP fanboy. I've been in ICP since Genesis, so I've lost a lot of money and then also made a lot of money. So not a lot, but a little bit of money. And so pretty excited here. My project, obviously I work with Gold DAO. I'm the social media manager at Gold DAO. That's, I guess people know me by that. And then, but my project, that's actually my project, it's called NFT Loteria. And for those of you that don't know what Loteria is, it's basically Mexican bingo. So if you've ever heard of bingo, like at a bingo hall or just bingo, and it's those cards with little numbers on them, and you usually associate it with grandmas, and you're like, oh, grandmas love to play bingo. Well, we're doing a version of that that's closer to the Mexican variant, which is called Loteria. And the Mexican variant is the same thing, but instead of numbers, it has pictures. Instead of being a square, the card is more of a rectangle. It's very colorful. So we did the same concept, but we replaced all the characters with crypto characters, more specifically ICP ecosystem. So you have like El Windows 98, El Yuku, El Gold DAO. It's one of the characters, all the SNSs from the time when it was made. And it's very colorful, has all the Divinity colors. You have the ultra rares that are purple, rares are blue, uncommons are green, and then common are gray. So you have all that. The point of the game, if you want me to continue, unless you want to pause me real quick, Renegade. I think Renegade froze.
Sorry about that. Having a little bit of technical issues. You good?
All right, there you good. I can see you again. I think he froze. You there?
Am I still frozen?
No. I see you now.
Here, let me move inside. Maybe I need to get closer to the router.
It could be me though. It could be me. I don't know. But...
No, I froze.
Okay.
Okay, keep going, man.
All right, awesome. So where was I? Yeah, Loteria, basically the point of the NFTs, we have an NFT, we have a token coming soon. So there's two products. Right now, it's only the NFT. The point of the NFT is not just to play the game, because some people are thinking, okay, well, I got to buy a bingo card so I can go play bingo one time and then that's it. No, that's where the good part is. There's only 363 pieces. So if you compare that to other collections that have 10,000 or all these thousands of pieces, these are very, very rare. So you might look at the price. By the way, we were #1 in DGDG, I think just last week. I don't know if we still are, but if not, surely we're like in the top 10 or something. But there's only 363. So you might look at it. I think last time I checked, the floor was 45. I don't know if it's lower or higher right now, but you might think it's expensive. You might think, oh, 45 ICP. I don't know. I only want to risk 2 ICP or something like that. Well, there's only 363 pieces total. So those pieces are going to be taken. They're going to be put in an app that's being built By the way, I just learned this today. I didn't know it's being built by a guy who made a website for the Pope. I don't know if you guys knew that, but James built a website for the Pope, like the Pope, the Catholic Pope. It's not like the official Vatican website, but it was like a website for an event in Malta, or I don't know, a country that starts with an M. And I was like, I did not know that, man. We got the the
Is
Pope's
that James Beadle?
yeah, James Beadle. He's
Oh,
been
okay.
saying a lot of comments and stuff recently, but I didn't know he built a website for the Pope. So James, as a matter of fact, volunteered to make the Loteria game a while ago on Spaces. He was like, "Hey, yeah, I'll make it for sure." So we're very grateful to him um,
So
for
how's
doing that.
that coming, by the way? Let me just kind of interrupt you there. Like, how is that coming along? Do you have like an estimated day, or it's just building right now? You're just building.
Yeah, it should be by this month. So there should be something released by this month, not the full app. So it'll be kind of like a beta. It's gonna be missing some of the features because a lot of the features we want a Bitcoin minter, we want the on-chain randomizer, we want it to send the money directly, we want it to verify who won the money. We have like a lot of like a whole wish list of things. So we're gonna do like at least some of the things in order to get the app out there, and that should be by this month. So if you haven't gotten a loteria, go get that now. We're taking those loterias, we're placing them into the game, and basically, when you play a Loteria game, it'll be 2 pages. The first page, you select if you're a player or a host. So if you're a person that wants to play bingo, well, congratulations, you can play bingo. If you're a person that doesn't want to play bingo, but you want to make money by hosting bingo games, you can click the host game, and then you host the game and you get a small commission, even though you put zero money in. So all you have to do is have Twitter followers, TikTok followers, Kick, whatever social media, you host the game there, and then whoever plays, you get a commission from their game. So you can make like 5% or something. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I know in crypto, people can start playing for like $1,000 or something, and then you can make a lot of money. So assuming you want to do that, you can host a game. If not, once you click play game, you'll be met with a page with all of the loteria. So you can pick your player, just like in Super Smash Brothers, you pick your player. In loterias, you pick your loteria card. So you'll have to pay a fee per each one. So not a fee as in like a fee, but it's the entry fee. So each card you pay the entry fee. Let's say it's 1 ICP. If you rent 4 cards, you're gonna pay 4 ICP if it's 1 ICP. So you're playing with those cards, and those cards are actually the NFTs that are owned by someone else or by yourself if you rent your own NFTs. So if you're a person that doesn't even like to play bingo, all you have to do is go to dgdg.app, you buy some NFT loterias, and as soon as somebody else plays with your loterias, if they win, you will get a commission. So if nobody rents your card, you'll make zero money. If somebody rents your card but they don't win, you make zero money. They also pay zero money, so it's a win-win, but will lose kind of, but at least you don't lose that much. But if they win and they're holding your bingo card, one of your bingo cards, which is why you should get like 10 at least, then you get a commission, you get 20%. So if there's 10 people and they're each playing with 4 cards, I think that's fairly reasonable. That would be, let me get my little calculator, 10 times 4, and they're each playing for 1 ICP, so we'll multiply by 1. That'll be 40 ICP. So if you do that and somebody wins with your card, you'll get 8 ICP, like $40. And all you have to do was, which I think is a reasonable number, if it happens, and all you have to do was hold the Loteria card. So someone wins with your card, you get a percentage. If you are a avid bingo player and you're like, hey, I don't want to be paying those percentages, well, just rent your own card. So you can select, like, hey, I own card 53 and then card number 2 and card number 74. Just rent your own cards, and if you win, the game will send the money to your wallet where you're holding those cards. So it's a win-win situation. It's a win for people that host games. It's a win for people that play games, because now you can play with people all over the world. So instead of being in Mexico and playing with like your aunt and like your grandma for 50 cents, well, now you're playing with, John, the Vietnamese whale, and Robert, the Dubai whale, or something. So you can play with all these people all over the world, and you can play for gold. We're trying to get gold in there, GLDT. You can play for CKBTC for Bitcoin, and in the future you'll be able to play for the Loteria token, which will have zero fees, by the way, for the dev fee, and then you can play for that. So you can play for all these tokens with all these people from all over the world. Instead, let's say in real life you could have played with 5 to 10 people at your family reunion. Well, now you can play with like 100 people all over the world at the same time, and instead of having Uncle Bob being the host and boring Uncle Bob. Well, now you can have Bitcoin Renegade being the host. Now you can have Victor ICP being the host. Now you can have, I don't know, that girl you have a crush on being the host. All of these people can be hosts of games. All of these people can play games with other people over the world. And if you don't want to have anything to do with that, well, you can just buy a Loteria card, or buy the token in the future. The token won't give you that chance of winning though, but you can buy the Loteria, and you can just tell people, you can just put on social media, hey guys, if you play Loteria, make sure to rent card 73, and I would appreciate it. And people rent your card, and congratulations, you're doing marketing for us because you're letting people know about the game. And then number two, you're promoting your card. So maybe instead of buying 50 cards and just letting math do the work, you buy one card because that's all you could afford, and just post on X every day. Hey, remember to play Loteria and use my card. Remember to play Loteria and use my card. And yeah, so that's kind of the gist of the project.
I have a little question about that because you said that there's ultra rares, rares. What is the benefit of holding each different one? They each are just random, pictures and stuff. So what is the benefit of holding each one? Would people want to rent the ultra rare ones more? Are you going to make a bigger incentive, like a bigger pot for the rare ones? How does that play in? Or is it just like that's the collector part of it?
I'm glad you asked that question. So there's two parts. Both parts are very, very important. The first thing I want to say is when I created NFT Loteria, I specifically used a Python code to make only the characters. So there was no background yet. It wasn't rare, ultra rare. It was only the characters. So they're all equally as lucky. We went OCD details. So we did 1,026 pieces, particularly because and I'll go into the future because there's not 1,026 anymore. But we made 1,026 pieces, particularly because if you have 4 rows of 4, 16 total characters, 54 characters in the deck of cards that are being drawn. Math tells us that if we have 1,026 tablas, we can get the same exact amount of characters to appear the exact amount of times throughout all the cards. So we went through like all of that just to make sure they're all equally lucky, right? So after that, we did burn 663 because those were the ones that were not sold at launch. So that's why there's only 3. We burned 663, which is why now there are only 363. I think those are the correct numbers. So the math might have changed a little bit. However, they're pretty much exact to the point, right? So you won't win by buying the more expensive one, right? It's not pay to play. You can buy you can rent or own the shittiest one and have the same chance with a minuscule difference, I guess, because we burned some of them. But other than that, it's really exact, right? It's everyone gets 16 different characters on every card, and at launch they all appear the same amount of time. So now you're wondering, well, Victor, if that's true, why are the commons 45 ICP while the ultra rares are like 275 ICP? That doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing that? There are 2 reasons for that. So let me see if I can open it because I don't want to give you all like fake numbers. Oh, we have more volume, I think, than we thought. Let's see. Yeah, so the floor is at 45 ICP, and the ultra rares are more expensive. So you're wondering, okay, well, why is that? Like, why are they more expensive? Like, if I'm not going to win more money, why is it more expensive? And the reason is it's exactly like Fortnite, or something. You can have a better skin and you can flex, right? And it doesn't necessarily make you a better player, right? So it's not pay to play. And there's another aspect to it. So number one, that's the collector aspect. I believe the ultras are more pretty, in my humble opinion. They have my signature at the top. They're purple. They actually follow the Fortnite color scheme. It's gray, green, blue, purple, and then we didn't make a gold. But you can just
purple's the color of royalty, my friend.
Yeah. And it says ultra rare on it, and then it says ICP $2,000 at the bottom. So it's very colorful. The common, I made it gray. So I like gray. Gray's fancy. It's actually a floppy disk inspired by Windows 98. So it says Windows 98 at the top with their permission. Of course, we got permission for all these projects, and it's a elongated floppy disk, but it's gray, so it's not as colorful. But mathematically, there are a lot of commons while there are only 22 ultra rares. So if you have an ultra rare, you have like a very not a lot of people have it. As a matter of fact, I think only like 5 or 6 people have them because there's only 22. So if a guy has like 4, only like 5 other guys also have 4 or 2 or 1, right? So you gotta like, if you're a collector, definitely go for the ultra rare. If you can't afford it or you don't want to risk that money, you can get a rare. And then if you just want the exposure, go for the commons. There is, however, a speculation that people are saying. People are saying that if someone were to, because the app's not out yet, so if someone were to play and they could select whatever card they wanted, the ultra rare people and the rare people, they're speculating, they're gambling that the majority of people will select the more expensive card just because it's A, prettier, and B, more expensive. So if the rent is free, unless I win, and then once I win, the percentage is the same that I have to pay out for all of the people, well, I'm going to rent the $2,000 Loteria instead of renting the $200 or
For
$300
the same
Loteria.
price.
Just yeah, just because I can, right? Like just like in
Yeah.
a video game, someone were to pick a Lambo to drive, and instead of picking, the Volkswagen Beetle, even though the speed is the same or something, but they would still, just out of pure aesthetics, like, hey, I'm picking the Lambo. They're speculating that that's what people are going to do. There's other people speculating that people will pick lucky numbers. So I know one guy, I think he just commented that he was purchasing like number 77 or number, I forgot which other number. One that means I love you, or like, or some people. This is another smart one. They're buying the low digit ones. They're like, okay, well, what if it's a drop down list and then it's 1 to 1,000? So then they're all gonna rent number 1, and then other people are doing that. But I think the main kind of momentum is going to the ultra rares. So people are buying the rares, the ultra rares. There's almost none. If you see it, it's commons and uncommons. As a matter of fact, the floor right now is uncommons, which is actually the second level. It's not the first level. And those are the ones at the floor. So there's more of those. People are kind of like, I don't know. But the ultra rares are really high. And people that buy these things, like that buy the ultra rares, they're not looking to sell. Okay. If someone is spending thousands of dollars on an NFT that's like 4 times the money from the floor, they probably don't need to sell it, right? So that can also give you some sort of reassurance. Like if you buy an ultra rare, you can be like, hey, people that buy ultra rares are not looking to sell, so I won't have much competition.
Right.
So some people feel comfier actually buying the more expensive ones because they think they have better holders, right? So you get so that's also a psychological thing right there, on top of the demand. But yeah, you won't actually win more by renting them. However, if you're going to be the one renting them, some people might rent yours more if it's the expensive one, just because they want to play. I mean, I
would.
don't know,
I
just
would no,
imagine.
like
Yeah.
I get what you're saying 100% here, because it's this way. Do I want to use a card that's worth 40 ICP, or do I want to use a card that's 240 ICP? Like, you know what I mean? So it's the aesthetics, it's the value. Do I want to drive a Lambo or a Volkswagen for the same price? I want to drive the Lambo, of course. You know what I mean? So it's value that you're giving to your holders to be able to actually execute what you're trying to get them to do, which is rent their cards out, participate in this Loteria, maybe even host some games. I like what you're doing here. I can't wait to see the D app. We need more actual things that we can do and have plans. We need poker, we need bingo, we need betting, we need all of that kind of stuff on the internet computer. And I think you're doing a great job, man. I can't wait to see the D app. I'm definitely going to be playing. I have a Loteria myself. I just want to ask you a couple of questions though. I want to know, what are your long-term plans? Like, I know you have all this in the works right now, but you've been in the ecosystem for what, over 3 years, maybe about 3 years, 4 years. I mean, like about 4 years, right? So how you're a OG, and I think you're going to be here for a while. What is the next stage after you start running these tournaments? You get GLDT in there, CK Bitcoin. Are you going to start partnering with other projects and maybe getting your DApp integrated in with other DApps, or other DApps integrated in with yours, and start to make this kind of blockchain singularity within the ecosystem of projects?
Yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning all the things I want to talk about. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. Number one, we got Windows 98 like 8 months ago or something. They're actually one of our partners. So we're like, hey, can we get our app once it's out on your desktop? And they said yes. So that's already on the line. We're gonna be on the Windows 98 desktop. So if you log into your little Windows 98, you'll have the Loteria app right there. The second project we want to get in there is Yuku, which again months ago, this already happened. Months ago, we partnered with them. They gave us a metaverse, so we're gonna have a Yuku metaverse where you can run around and then you can host the Loteria games on the little big screen that they have. So you can run around, look at the Loteria cards floating everywhere. And like I actually made a beta and I'm gonna make another one that's better now that we have like better images. And yeah, you basically run around in this metaverse and a Loteria host is hosting the game on the screen and you're in the metaverse playing. So obviously you'd probably also this is all very beta and early. So you'd probably also have to have like your phone and like being playing the app or have it on a separate window. Like we don't actually have the app in the Yuku metaverse. Dave, I told you, Renegade. He's asking what was so terrible. It's not. It's clickbait. He's guilty. He's guilty of clickbait. But yeah, it's terrible if you don't own a loteria. And yeah, so I was saying we don't actually have like the game app inside of Yuku where you can click on it, but you'll be able to like run around, look at the host on the screen, and then look at all that stuff going on. So it'll be kind of like a semi integration. And then the third thing is GLDT, man. People are not bullish enough on GLDT and Gold DAO. I mean, I'm extremely biased because I work there. I'm their social media manager, but I think some people have faith in me. You know, some people think I'm very good at my job, and I, you know, I get people hyped, which I think is true, at least a little bit true. And but GLD, it's gold. It's freaking gold. Like there are gold bars in Switzerland and you tokenize those gold bars and people can trade around the world with gold. Like this is what Bitcoin wanted to be. Okay, Bitcoin, and I love Bitcoin, there's no hate against Bitcoin. Bitcoin was supposed to be an asset that you can buy things with, you can hold it, you can buy things all over the world, no barriers. Like you don't have all these like, you know, KYC and you have to fill this form and that tax and this form. You just made payments and it was like beautiful, nice little money. And then it became slow. You know, Bitcoin became slow. It had all these fees. The network is being congested with like no hate against ordinals or pictures or runes or whatever, but it's being like congested with all these things. Which I know people love them. You know, they love their little pictures and their little coins, but it's making like the Bitcoin more expensive and slower. And people argue, well, you know, we're willing to pay more, so we deserve the space. Well, I guess that's true, but Bitcoin is no longer kind of like, man, and I don't want to sound bearish on Bitcoin because I love Bitcoin, but I think it's not the same as the Bitcoin that I met in 2013, you know, or that other people knew about in 2009, 2010. Like you know, they used to call them Bitcoins with an S, like, oh, I'm gonna send you some Bitcoins, and now they just say Bitcoin because nobody owns any, nobody owns like not even one, like everyone has like 0.00005, so they can no longer say Bitcoins because it's not plural, and and it's slow, like it's like a 30-minute wait, and I think GLDT fixes this. But instead of having Bitcoin, obviously CKBTC fixes this by making Bitcoin itself super fast on ICP,
100%.
bullish on CKBTC. But gold does the same thing while removing that. Well, it doesn't fully remove any risk, right? But while removing the risk of Bitcoin, you know, losing 30%, losing 40%, like it's gold. It's a little bit more stable. Sure, there's a little bit of risk as there is in everything, but you can use gold as money. Like every single argument for Bitcoin is kind of like an argument of like, oh well, we can't use gold because you can't send it, and like, oh, you have to carry it. Like, no, you don't, not anymore, right? So GLDT token is a gold token, and we're incorporating into Loteria because we want people to play for gold. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine just feeling like, hey guys, by the way, I'm gonna go play some bingo for some gold? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine you win, you win like a bar of gold. Like if there's 100 players playing for one GLDT, will probably have to be 120 because of the commissions. Do you have 120 players or 30 players using 4 cards each for one GLDT? Imagine if you win and you win one bar of gold. Like you go home with a bar of gold. Like I never else have I seen this. Like I'm gonna go play bingo and walk away with a bar of gold. Like, you know, that you don't hear that. That doesn't happen. So we're trying to incorporate that. And I know I'm excited about the Yuku Metaverse. I'm excited about being in the Windows 98 desktop, but I'm super, super excited of getting people to play bingo for gold. Like all over the world. Like, you know, some guy in Arabia is putting some gold, a guy in Mexico, Canada, Afghanistan, I don't know, like all the countries, Australia. We have a lot of people in Canada. So Canada, Australia, Mexico, I know those will be like there for sure. And you make gold. Or imagine you hold loterias, you buy like 10 loterias, and you check every day, maybe not every day, maybe every 2 days, every 3 days, maybe once a week. And then you check it and like, oh, jackpot, someone won using my card. And then you have like a gram of gold in your wallet. Like that's crazy. So right now I try to keep it realistic. I don't like getting delusional and being like, we're gonna,
Right.
be people are gonna
No,
play for $100,000. They might not. But but they also might. But as long as we get like 10, 20 people playing, and they play for $1 each, and we get them to play every day, that's already enough to where loterias will be worth way more than they're worth right now. Because right now they're 45 ICP, which is like what, a 45 times 5, what is that, like less than $300? That's like $225. Well, imagine when people start playing for $225 a game, because if you divide that by 30 people, that's only $7.50 per person. And if you divide that by 4 cards, that's only $1.87. So if you get people to play for $1.87 entry fee per each card, and they each rent 4 cards, and you have 30 people, and that's all you have, that's more than the price of one loteria a day that they'll be playing. So this isn't figuratively matched, because obviously only 20% would actually go to the winners, and only the winners would get paid. But if we have this every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, well, what's your percentage of winning, right? And then if you're not basing it only on luck, but you're actually working for your bags, I'm a huge fan of working for your bags. If you're actually working for your bags and you're posting on X every day, hey guys, by the way, rent card 54, 75, and 37, and people listen to you because they want to support you. So instead of just going with the inertia and renting the ultra rare or the lucky number, they're like, no, 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 I'm going to rent Renegades cards because I really like that guy, and they rent your cards. Well, guess what? You're renting to probability ratio just went up higher. Like, you just made yourself luckier by working for your bags, because well, not actually like luckier, but more people, more opportunity at the same luck, if that makes any sense. More people will rent your cards, thus it's more probable that one of them will win, right? Or
there you
multiple of them will win.
go. Okay.
So yeah, that's Loteria. Renegade, make sure to pause me because sometimes I get overexcited.
I know. I
So
was getting ready to, because you went off on that. But no, I have a lot to say about what you just said, and I'll say it pretty quickly. I want to go to the GLDT thing. I had Gold Dow on the channel. Thanks to you kind of putting us in contact, so I do appreciate you for that. I thought the interview was amazing. It's some of the coolest things that I've ever seen. I knew about Gold Dow. I didn't know a lot about the GLDT token. So this token being tied to gold as like a form of stable asset for holding value, any project that is going to integrate that and integrate real digital gold into their project, like now 100% we need GLDT into our ICP Renegades game. So I see where you're going with that. I definitely support you. I would like to see more of you like supporting Gold Dow on the channel. Maybe I'll have you as our social media manager, maybe come on the channel and talk about it sometime. But I think they're doing really amazing stuff over there. I think what you're doing with NFT ICP Loteria is a game changer for ICP. So definitely, guys, go pick you up. Victor, can you send me a link for the loterias so that people can go support you? I'm going to put it in the chat real quick.
Yeah, of course. Give me a second while I type it in. If you can't copy paste because of YouTube, just put dgdg.app. That is DGDG, like, I don't know, dragons and games. I don't know. DGDG.app will be the number 1 at the top. That's actually pretty cool. And hold on, why are we number 1? Oh, we're number 1 except Bitcoin Flower and Motoko Ghost. So we're number 3 actually, but we're number 1 on the page because I think
Bitcoin Flower beat you out. Okay, dang it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, they're beating us, but I think they're not listed on DGDG, so that's why we're at the top of the page. I think they're listed elsewhere. So go there. Let me send you the comment. I'll send it to you on X, and here you go. That's the link. So yeah, dgdg.app/NFT/collections. But if you just put dgdg.app, we're number 1, so you'll see them. Beautiful loterias. I don't know if you want to share the screen or something, Renegade, and and kind of show them to people?
Well,
So they can...
actually, we're running out of time here.
Okay.
I do have to get going. But guys, go support him over here. I will put the actual link. I can't grab it right now. It'll kick me out of the video if I go to Twitter. So what I'm gonna have to do is after the video, I'll put it in the regular comments and in the description. So guys, go get you some Loteria. I know, Victor, you possibly have a token coming out soon. Guys, definitely follow Victor ICP on X. And guys, get ready for the biggest bull run in history. It will be terrifying.
Real quick, Renegade. I forgot to say that's really important. If you hold a Loteria, you'll get a Loteria token airdrop. So if you're not into NFTs, but you want to get that airdrop, go sweep the floor of other Loterias because you will get an airdrop. It will be very juicy, okay? Because I own a lot of Loterias, so it's like giving myself money. So Loterias, very juicy airdrop, and thanks, Renegade.
Yeah, man, I got you. See, I don't know. Like, I didn't plan to ask you any of these questions. Like, these were legit questions, and we just flow and we sync so well that this video went perfect, man. Thank you so much. And guys, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good ICP Loteria.
Peace out. Thanks, Renegade.